I'm Allison with MuchMusic.com, and I'm here with Mr. Adam Levine from Maroon 5. So excited to meet you.
Excited to meet you too.
Thank you, thank you. Tour's been going great. Can you update us at all on Gavin, how he's doing?
He's good. I mean, I think he's going to take a little while longer, but he came out the other end of it. It was really sad and really scary, and you know, obviously we love him very much, and can't wait for him to get back, get healthy, and get on the road again.
Definitely, definitely. And actually, the first time I saw you guys was here. You were opening for John Mayer. It was like 6 or 7 years ago. You guys, you know, you went from openers to headliners now. Have you changed the way you approach shows a lot in the last 5 or 10 years?
Well, I saw, strangely enough, I know our song is about Jagger, so it's funny that I'm saying this, but I saw a Stones movie from early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, that maybe one day before we started a tour, and I was like, wow, this is where we need to be aspiring to this, not necessarily achieving it, but this is a show. And so I've really kind of lost my mind ever since then.
Have you changed the show since seeing that doc?
Just going crazy, you know, and putting on as much of a show as we can ourselves, not doing things like, you know, huge gags and, you know, smoke and fire, all that kind of crap, but just putting on the best show we can put on as human beings possible.
Yeah. Did watching that inspire moves like Jagger?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everything inspires everything, right?
Yeah. And of course, I want to talk to you about The Voice. We aired it on Much Music. It was a phenomenal show, just above and beyond everything. You're in a band where you're touring with them all year round, and you guys are really a team. Did you talk to the guys when you were offered the role? Did you? Yeah,
we talked about it. I mean, I was gonna, you know, it was important to discuss it with the band, but at the end of the day, it's a positive thing for the band. The band's never been bigger. Yeah. It's like, you know, they wound up working. Could have not worked, but it worked. I'm very happy about that.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because you guys were a mainstream band. You guys were a mainstream band before The Voice. So did you notice a big rise in popularity afterwards?
Yeah, huge rise. I mean, I think that's what's crazy is that we've had so much success. We've been so lucky to this point, and then this happens and kind of launches us into a new place, and it's like, wow, holy moly, this is, you know, a resurgence, and people are rediscovering us, and it's kind of crazy, you know. It's like to have lightning strike twice like this is pretty intense, so I'm pretty happy.
Is there any talk of next year?
Oh, we're doing the show,
For sure,
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And one thing, you guys were signed really young. You guys were still in high school when you were signed, and mostly when we saw you on The Voice, you were talking to your team about the music side. Did you talk to them about the business side?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't want to scare them because the business sucks so bad. You know, well, also as an artist, it's like you spend so much of your time fighting against the business, although it is the thing that propels you and helps you have success. It's like kind of a delicate balance. We've obviously done our share of business things, but I told them just not to worry about it. You know, you can't worry about the business. The business is what it is, and it'll somehow continue on. And I think the most important thing is just making music that you love. You know.
It seemed like the quality of performers on The Voice was much higher than other similar shows. Why do you think that is? Thank you. Why do you think that is? There was no age barrier, so that was one thing.
I think that it had something to do, I don't know what it was, but people felt like there was something, just a different tone that this show had, and I don't know what it is, and I'm not, honestly, not, very, very sincerely not criticizing any of these other shows. I have nothing against them. But there's something about this show that really attracted people, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's not about what people are wearing, you know, whether they're beautiful or not, or it really comes down to whether or not they can blow you away with what they're singing. And that to me is, I know it sounds like a gimmick, but it's really not. It's kind of pure and cool. So that's definitely an attractive part of the show.
I think a big thing too is the relationship between the 4 judges is really been fun to watch.
It's 4 really different kinds of people, so that's what's cool about it. It's like 4 misfits, as CeeLo said.
Yeah. How far into the show were you when you and the band decided to work with Christina?
It was like halfway through. And she's so talented, man. People talk shit about her all the time, and you know, say mean things about her. But the truth is, it doesn't make a difference. She's really talented, and we put her on this tune because she's a really talented human being. Yeah.
And of course, that collaboration was with the band, but you've done a lot on your own. Your latest song's been with Gym Class Heroes. Do you think you're gonna go solo one day?
Well, I'm trying not to.
Yeah.
It's not very cool.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I like my band. I love my band. I've been in my band forever.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I know. That's all I know.
And it works.
works.
And I wanted to talk to you about a tweet that you sent out the other day. You you said that rock and roll was in denial of its death, and I thought, you're the lead singer of a rock and roll band. What do you want to? Can you talk about that?
Us to be a rock and roll band in the pure sense of the word. Rock and roll music was an amazing time, and it was an amazing revolution that happened, and it inspired us, and it inspired our parents, and it inspired a certain generation. But it's not alive anymore. It's not. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. And I remember when I made our first record with the band, I was like, rock and roll is dead. Let's make. You know, I love pop music. I love that tradition. I want to stay in that tradition. You know, it's a confusing topic because rock and roll music used to be pop. It used to be that's what was on the radio all the time. So it's all changed very much, and rock and roll's kind of gone into back into the underground, which is awesome. You know, and I love rock and roll music. I love heavy metal. I love pop music. I love everything. So I'm as unbiased as it gets, and I think that, you know, it hasn't gone quietly into the night because people still believe, which is, like I said in the tweet, very rock and roll inherently. So it's fine, but you know, it's funny sometimes you watch the death rattle of like a musical revolution. It's like kind of sad. Sometimes I was just watching something, I was like, ugh. Yeah.
It was a very deep tweet.
Well, you know, I try to not be shallow as much as possible. It's hard.
Moves Like Jagger is still #1 in Canada. Can you tell us if there's going to be another single off the album?
No, I don't think so. We're going to make a new one.
Well, I'm excited for that. That's great.
Revive rock and roll.
Well, you
make a metal record. Shock everybody.
Well, you better come back to Toronto when it comes out.
Awesome.
That's
Will
great.
do.
Thank you very much. Great to meet you.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.